is up, my people? We are live today. We got me, Kyrie's Clark, and then we got the one and only Albert Bostic here today.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you for having me.
of course, I was save I was saving the best for last. Of course, I was gonna have you on here inevitably. So when I was having
Thank you. I appreciate
all these
that.
collabs, I was like, nope, I already knew I was gonna have Albert on here. That was the plan from the get go, but needed to step. I had to step it up to make sure to deserve the honor of having the one and only Albert Bostic on this stream. You know, it's a privilege to have Albert on here. I
Thank
just
you. I appreciate that, man. Seriously, no. This is all you. Like I just, I saw something in you, and you see it too, and you're doing your own thing, and you're doing amazing things. Your numbers and your personality and everything is showing it. So this is all you.
thank you so much. So getting right into the first question, which was in the thumbnail, is Jason Morgan the worst father on General Hospital? Now, we all know how I feel about Jason as a dad. Um, internally, I just feel that I've been disappointed for a long time in that lack of direction. Like I knew he was always putting Carly first before he had kids. Like because in his defense, when Jake was presumed dead, but he had already signed over Jake to Lucky and Elizabeth initially, so he didn't know about Danny before he left in 2012. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I thought, okay, maybe he would be able to step up for Danny and Jake now that he has the chance in 2017. But we saw how that played out. He continued to put Sonny and Carly all of before both of his kids, and then now he just. But I really just thought that was a crap move. Why he didn't even consider staying for Danny's sake, but because Carly turned herself in anyway, that's when and that's where his attention lies now. So I'm like, when I look at the entire cast of General Hospital, I'm genuinely curious: is there a worse father than Jason Morgan right now? Because Finn has his little. He's an alcoholic right now, but at least he saw help as soon as he realized he lost temporary custody of Violet. He sought help immediately afterwards. I mean, at first he was still in denial, but his love for Violet he was always there for her. Even Sonny Corinthos, he's a controversial dad at best, but even in without his medication, he knows to fight for his daughter Avery, regardless of whatever. He's fighting to stay in Donna's life. He's fighting to stay in Avery's life. He just we got Dante. He's a solid dad. Rocco lives with him full time. We got I can't think of any other father on thing that is bad except maybe Lucky. He's lived halfway across the country, but I mean, in a different country all this time. So I'm genuinely curious: is Jason the worst dad on General Hospital today? What do you think, Albert?
I mean, listen. No one is spared the ride, and I've been giving Jason a smoke all this week. So yeah, I mean, if you sit there and say who's the worst father in General Hospital, that probably have to be Deacon, which is Sonny's dad. But if we just go with main characters, no, he's not doing his best. But it's weird to sit there and say he's the worst father because it's like, yeah, he is because he's neglecting his kids, but like he's the worst out of all of them. But to sit there and
Mm,
say the worst, yeah, other dads are better. So in comparison, yes. Just to answer your question, yes.
yes, indeed. And Omar says, Drew, and hi, Susan, how are you? And Dewan says, Ava better win that custody. But speaking of, I did have that question prepared for you. Do you think that Ava Jerome is going to find her way out of this situation?
I mean, yes, because the odds on Sonny isn't good. We know that he's low on his medication. It doesn't take much to push this man at this point. So, yes, yes, I do.
But so even if she wins temporarily, when it finds out that she really did tell that pharmacist to give him the full placebos, how is she going to get out of that corner? Do you predict?
Oh, see, that's gonna be a rough one right there because it was like I don't know if they can charge her because like technically we have to charge like the pharmacist, but just as oh no, she's definitely gonna lose custody at that point. She's gonna
Mm.
lose custody. She may actually want to lose her life.
That's what I'm worried about. Custody might be the least of her concern. Custody might be a non-factor with that one, because even if Sonny himself doesn't do anything, all his loved ones might line up to do that. Well, we all know Sonny will verbally lash out for her for sure and threaten to do something, but you got Jason, you got Carly, you got many other ones. You never know because Morgan is only coming back for one episode for now, but we don't know what that might lead to though, because I recall there was a time. Remember when Robin was presumed dead for a while, and she would come in as a guest every now and again. But I guess it would they would do little things to prove that she's still alive around there. So even though he's there for the dream sequence, but you never know, the dream might show in the very end of the episode that he's alive, even if he's not casted right away, it could still that still might be a possible twist. Um,
But are you excited for that though? Like, are you excited for Morgan to come back, even if it's just for one episode?
yeah, especially if it gives some sort of hint that he's alive somehow. That would be really good. And I've always wanted him to get back at Ava for switching his medication. I thought that was an inevitable plot twist for that. Um, but now, but is it possible that Ava just might go to Pentonville for a little while too? If the
I
bills,
mean, yeah. I mean, these actors, they want to go on vacation and want to have some time off. So, like, but Pentonville, I mean, yeah, it depends. It's weird because it's like whenever I think about an actor going away or going somewhere, or the character always sit there and think about like, where's the actor leaving for a little bit? Like, John on days, he took some time off, so that's why he had to go over to Greece to do something that was really unnecessary. So maybe if Ava wants to sit there and go on vacation, I guess you can go to Pentonville for a little bit. But I feel like Pentonville could also be somewhat permanent, you know?
yeah, because they would have to find a way to get her out of that legally, and
Yeah.
that's harder to explain than being presumed dead for a while compared to that. Francis says, I think Lucky Spencer is much worse than Jason. Lucky has no excuse for his absence. That's technically true. Because why does he still need to find himself all that time just because Elizabeth slept with your brother? Like, seriously? You got to stay away from your kid that long just because
Yeah.
Elizabeth slept with your thing. And hi, Janet. How are you?
That's right. Gorgeous Queen Janice in the chat. What's good, love?
And hey, Omar. And Omar says that even Michael killed his stepmom, Claudia. That's true, he did. But I doubt Michael's going to kill Ava.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I personally, I'm gonna be honest. Unless there's an actual, because like right now, I'm not really excited for Morgan coming back to be honest, because I feel like it's just gonna be a dream sequence. Like if they do something more with him, then maybe. But like he had ample time to come back. Like if the actor really wanted to come back, and they really could allow it, I think he could have came back a long time ago just to come back as a dream sequence, just being like I'm more excited for Rick coming back. Rick
Yeah,
Lansing. I'm more excited for Rick Lansing to come back.
that's true. Speaking of Rick Lanson, to speak about his daughter. At this point, I put this question down our Molly, TJ, and Christina. They're just three jackasses at this point. Like when I really, really, really think about it. I mean, as much as TJ's been getting on my nerves lately, and Molly yesterday, and now, but on the other side, Christina's also being ridiculous too, though. Like she's sitting there talking about, oh no, you two need to be the perfect couple in order for me to hand this baby for you. But guess what? There's no such thing as a perfect couple because there's no such thing as perfect people. We all have our flaws somewhere in there somewhere. So it's not like Molly and T. She's using her excuse that she just really wants to keep the baby, but instead of just making it that, oh no, because I'm afraid you and TJ are not able to give them a stable home like I am. I'm like, no, it's not. Your hormones are taking over and you want the baby for yourself. Just be real with that. But you're giving that crap excuse. I'm not really buying it. How about you?
Yeah, no, it's an excuse, and it's one of those things where it's like his thing. Even when Molly was like, "So you think just because we have one fight, then we're gonna break up?" And she looked at her and was like, "Yes, I truly believe that." You know what? The sad thing is, on some level, she is stupid enough to believe that. She
Mm,
is. She's dumb enough to believe that, but also, yeah, she is using that as an excuse to sit there and keep the baby because the way she's been talking has just been out of pocket. This whole thing is messed up, and I know they're going to sit there and get Alexis involved because Alexis said from jump, "Hey, listen, I'm not cool with y'all doing this, but if y'all going to do this, leave me out of this." And of course, her two jackass daughters is going to sit there and drag her right back in this mess that she told them not to do because she knew this was going to happen.
mm-hmm. Because remember, Christina definitely said, "Oh, mom, you just don't believe in me." Blah 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 blah. She was biting Alexis's head off when she tried to warn them of that. Christina especially got extra defensive like she always does. So if I was Alexis, I would be like, "I don't care. That is your problem. Either way, this is my grandbaby. That's all I care about." So I'm gonna visit my grandbaby no matter who she's with, but I don't care.
Yeah.
No, nothing further. I don't want to hear nothing about those custody things. I'm not coming to testify. I'm not representing neither one of you. Y'all both gonna get out of my face with all that. I do not have time for this. That's what she needs to say and stand by that. And hey, George, how are you? And hey,
It's good,
Susan.
Black one.
Um, but yeah, I just and then Francis. Oh, hey, Darby, how are you today? And Christina's bigger. Okay, gave a piss poor interview. Look, that interview, thankfully I did fast forward that because I don't want to hear no crap about Natalia the victim. Get out of here. She ain't no victim here. I mean, at the end of the day, she still went around saying those things to a relative stranger that you don't even know. You don't even know like that. Everybody knows Ava Jerome is a snake. So is she really surprised someone like that would sneak up on you to record that? I mean, I get that she's entitled to feel how she wants to feel. Not everybody has to accept the LGBT community. That's just a reality of the situation. If they don't have to agree with it, they don't have to agree with it. They don't have to. They don't even have to support it. They really don't. But it's just she's still not a victim of how she was just speaking so lowly uh, about your own daughter to a stranger. You say that to maybe a personal friend or somebody else, but that's how Ava was able to get you so quickly because she was talking so lowly about her daughter. But yet they turned it around and think about, oh, I just want to make it work with my mother eventually and get my mother to accept me and all that other crap to the public. And then you're saying that Natalia was the real victim in that. I'm not buying that.
See, I wouldn't sit there and say she's the real victim, but I'm not going to sit there and say she wasn't a victim either because her information shouldn't have been put out there like that on Front Street. Yes, it was bad. We all know that that was bad. But the thing was, she didn't know that she was recorded. She didn't know that she was going to sit there and put that online. It's terrible, yes, and it makes her a bad person for the stuff that she said and the you know the way that she said it. But she's a victim in the sense that she didn't consent to putting that stuff out there online for everyone to see, regardless of how much of a kind of god awful person she is. Her stuff should have never been put out there on Front Street like that.
Omar says Molly didn't have to read Christina down to the ground like that. Like, yeah, Molly was really out of pocket with some of the things that
Yeah,
she was saying, especially my part of what she really said when she basically shamed Christine. Basically, made it seem like Christina is taking advantage of Blaze's being closeted pretty much when she said the only one that you could get is some poor sucker that is too ashamed to be gay. First of all, Blaze isn't necessarily
yeah,
ashamed to be gay. She didn't want the reason why, because now this makes me even defend Blaze. So I guess kudos to the writers. Because remember, I've made it clear that I don't care nothing for Blaze, nothing that she had to
mhm,
say. I don't feel nothing, but that even made me want to defend Blaze a little bit. I'm like, because first of all, that's not particularly true. That's not what Blaze said. Blaze said, "You know what? I know that I'm okay with it for me, and my fans will probably be okay with it too. But it's just my mother is mainly the issue of why thing did that. That had nothing to do with Christina taking advantage of that. So that was very out of pocket for Molly to basically attack Blaze in the process of insulting Christina. I thought that was out of pocket.
yeah. No, I mean, the whole thing was out of pocket. The way she here's the thing, the way she came at her. This is not somebody. This is not somebody you would come after. Like you wouldn't take. You shouldn't take that tone with your family member. You shouldn't take that tone with your brother or sister. You should take that tone with somebody that's not blood related or somebody who is an enemy. She thought that for years, and so Christina was like, "Wow, that's really what you think of me," and she didn't say anything. So she confirmed, "Yep, that's exactly what I think of you." Like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, that's some enemies right there. That's wow.
That is true.
Now let me ask you a question though. Are you accepting this Molly a little bit more now? Are you still just like you know you're still more Haley even though that she's kind of a god awful person?
Well, I was never really like attached to any of the Mollies. Like even Haley's Molly, I don't think I was ever like particularly attached to her. That was more DC's thing, I guess. Um, Me, on the other hand, the only thing I'm saying, like what I said in my stream a few weeks ago, I said that this version of Molly, we need to find a way for her to really connect with the audience through character development again. Because the other Molly, we they saw grow up on their screen. So even though Haley did what she did, they still have that connection with her. Like this Molly, she just stepped into the role, and we're supposed to just automatically just be like, oh, okay, yeah, we really feel bad that she can't have a baby. Like why? Like it was just out of the blue. Like my thing is Molly and TJ are still young adults, so it's not like they're pushing 40 and this in part. They still had plenty of time because I've said it before. I'll say it again. Her condition is a real life condition that is actually treatable. There have been women with that condition that have still given birth. So they could have really taken that journey for her to go through to become a mother. So maybe when she loses this baby, inevitably, which is probably going to happen, she, and then she could slowly find her way as a character, and then she could have that baby. When we were like, oh yeah, we remember when we went through when we saw Molly heartbroken with this, or we really felt something. Because I just don't feel anything with this Molly so far, but it's not because of Haley. It's just because I feel the character needs to be pretty much redeveloped to step into her to make the role her own. That's
Mhm.
how, because each that's just how it is with recast on the show. Like each one has to find a way to make the character their own some way. Usually with a recast of the role. That's
Yeah,
just
recast could be very tricky because it's I like for me personally, just going to days for a hot minute. I'm cool with I can't remember this guy's name, but the new one. But that's because I didn't see the old one. I didn't see Scott James or whatever his name was. So My exactly. So my new EJ, well, my EJ is new EJ, so it's easy for me to sit there and pick up on that as opposed to the old EJ. It's the same thing with Spider-Quake. He liked it Emily, so he wasn't used to the Julie one that everyone else raves about.
Mm, that's true. I'm saying that Darby says, I'm saying that Molly said all of Christina's past is part of jealousy because at least Christina had a life, unlike Molly, who's closeted bookworm, who never took a chance to have an exciting life. I mean, because I said, because I've said that too, though, that Molly's never really lit, lived that much. So, like, this is like everything with Molly was probably more academic or work related, but she's never really experienced things. So I feel like the way her character comes across, it's just like, oh no, this is the first thing in my life I can't get. So yep, now I need. So she just rushed into that surrogate process really quickly. When usually that takes time before they do that. Like even when they found out they would have had to wait 6 months with whatever TJ placated Molly because she was so devastated she would have just had to wait. They just want what they want right now because Molly's just used to getting what she wants right away usually. But sometimes life doesn't work like that. You just have to live. Like setbacks, failure, and difficulties is feedback. It's just a part of life. It's how you grow as a person. And I just feel like Molly is an entitled brat somewhat too with this story. It's really showing that. And the way she treated Christina yesterday, that really didn't help her cause either, of my opinion of her. It's
Hmm.
just
Who do you who do you think is a more stable? Who do you think is more of a stable parent, though, Ava or Sunny, or who is a better parent? If we're gonna just to be real,
they both they both are extremely, extremely, extremely flawed to horrible parents. But on one thing, they both love their daughter at the very least. So, like, at least neither one of them would actually mistreat her while she's in this stage of life. Now, Ava, on the other hand, we saw how she treated her adult daughter, Kiki, when she got older. But as but but if you recall, the backstory was very established that Kiki never had any real issues with Ava when she was growing up. They were like thick as thieves, best friends. But then again, Ava treated her more like a didn't really play the strict mom role. She more treated her like a best friend. Um, so she never really mothered Kiki as much. But we've seen her try with Avery way more than she did with Kiki. But as far as but if Avery is with Ava, her physical safety will probably be better more often. Let's just be real. Ava would like if Ava left town or and Avery was with her full time, we wouldn't have to worry about Avery's physical safety. Now, emotional down the line, I don't know. Especially when Avery becomes a teenager and starts mouthing back to her, you never know. But as far as physical safety, Ava. But as far as when she gets older, it'll probably be Sunny. But either way, she
so you're
kind of
basically saying that they're on the same level. Because, like, for me, I'm gonna go with Ava. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna go with Ava. Um, because even on a physical level, it's like she's gonna constantly be in danger. Her father's gonna constantly have people coming after her and everything like that. Like that can mess you up on an emotional level as well.
mm-hmm.
That can make you very paranoid and stuff like that, and how you see the world growing up. And I feel like, in a sense, Sonny can do just as much an emotional damage with the physical dangers in his life as somebody could sit there and say about Ava.
Hey, Queen Nakisha, how are you? We got the Beyonce of the group.
Whoa, hold on. Let me sit there and check because I can't on here for some reason. I can't like look at it. Oh, there we go. Queen Nakisha,
Yeah,
aka the Alexis Davis of the group.
Yes. And then Darby says, as day-to-day parents, they're both capable parents. But in the long run, both are no good for Avery's well-being. I wish we had a scene where Ava was afraid to leave Avery with Sunny to show her she loved her, knowing Sunny was unmedicated. Mm-hmm. Because that is true. Ava is taking risks with that one. Because I don't get why she won't just spill the beans with that one right away. Because they both try to file emergency custody orders. So why didn't you just tell them? I suspect that Sonny is not on his medication. If you tell, like when Carly tried to get Sonny to do that, that was just Sonny. That was only up to Sonny himself. But if Ava would have accused him of going off his medication to the courts, and then if he still acted like that in the courtroom, then at the very least, Avery could have been moved with Ava temporarily, knowing how he is. If she would have just told Scott, "Yo, Sonny's off his medication right now," then
Yeah,
he
but
would
that's
have.
that's te- but that's temporary though. I feel like Ava is more of the long game. Like she wants something more permanent. Like that's cool temporarily, but then he'll just get back on his medication and then what?
That's true, but at the end of the day, she's worried about Avery's immediate safety though, because they're still taking a major gamble there. Because you never know which Sonny you're gonna get. So he could, like, what if Avery throws a temper tantrum one morning for whatever reason? She asked to do something. Sonny says no, and Sonny goes from 0 to 100 on little Avery. What's Ava gonna do there? She can't do anything if she's not even there to stop it from escalating. So she is taking a major risk doing that. Because Carly wouldn't handle that. Courts and no courts. We all know Carly wouldn't be putting up with that with Donna. Say what we want about Carly, but she would not. That's why she already said nope, no more overnights. So
Speaking of Carly, what do you think of the Carly situation after you read that?
she got locked up. They won't let her out. Look, I think some prison time would do Carly some good, but probably what I feel was going to happen, what people are starting to predict, is that the reason Mr. Brennan disappeared is he pulled some strings and he found a way to get to that tape as well. So I feel Carly's going to go free because of Mr. Brennan. That's how I see that playing out. But um, Carly, does she deserve some jail time? Yeah. Would it be funny to see her in jail? Probably. But is it going to happen? More than likely not. And then Francis asked, do you guys think Cates is going to get shot and Sonny gets blamed? I think Brennan will shoot him. That's a possibility. Um, since Sonny specifically took out that gun, so that's probably going to play in to a factor somehow. And hello, Jade. Everybody, welcome, Jade. Um,
What's good, Jade? What's good, Jonathan?
and hey, Clarence. And Dolomedic says, at the end of the day, the real winner is going to be whoever ends up as Avery's therapist in 20 years. That person is buying a beach house off that child's future issues. And then do you think Ava will bring Rick Lanson back? Now, Rick is back from Molly.
Rick Lanson, aka Slick Rick.
Yes, indeed. Now, I had a question for you, Albert. Um, why do you strongly feel GL deserves the benefit of the doubt?
Why do I think that the benefit of the doubt in what way?
That we shouldn't want him gone.
Because I don't think that it's the actor's fault that the writing isn't on par. I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so we get rid of this character, we bring in somebody else, but the writing is still bad. So it's like I'd rather them sit there and try to do something to make him interesting than just to sit there and be like, okay, well you're not working, your character isn't working. Like, well, that's not my fault. That's the writer's fault. You imagine being an actor, being on a legacy show like General Hospital, and then you come in during a time where it's like the writing isn't as good as it was like in the '90s. That's not fair to him. Just
I
my opinion.
could start to see that, but I'm just. You're right. It's not his fault. It is the writer's fault, but it's more the producer, whoever gave him a contract. That's who really is to blame because they should have sat down with their writers, but I know this is our plan for Geo right here. We're gonna start him off with a bang right away to get so he can get the majority of fans' attention. It's like when you put a new character on contract, you got to really pay, have them be as top priority as possible. You don't just throw someone, especially someone with no ties to the show. He's just the latest of Uncle Sonny, Uncle Sonny, Uncle Sonny. But one thing I thought is, what if he's Rick Lansing's long lost son, and Sonny really is his uncle? That would be.
Oh, that'd be what's up.
I just thought about that. That could be a chance that makes him since Rick is coming back. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that they should put him with Trina. The problem, okay, so here's the thing. The problem is, I feel like he looks too young to be with Trina or Jocelyn. But I don't think he's high school level yet, though. Like, I think he's like maybe I don't know. I feel like he's too young to sit there and be with those two. So it's like I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna put Trina with Gio regardless, and I feel like that's a mistake because Spencer and Trina set a high bar.
do you think new writers will make Lois and Geo poof be gone? Well, we all know I would be more than happy if Lois would be given the boot, but and mainly because I want her to return as Quinn. That would be more fun, um, and because I don't like Lois. And then I wish Rick was back when Sonny was still with Nina after what Rick did to the original Nina. Oh yeah, that storyline back in 2015 with the
So
medal.
why you don't like why you don't like Lois again?
I still isn't that something? I still hold that same grudge with the whole when she exposed Nina. Even though I don't even like Nina these days, but I still hold that grudge against Lois because she had no business getting in Nina's business. But what business of that was Lois, as far as I'm concerned? I still have smoke for Lois for that.
Okay. Um, I just want to say something before we kind of move on to the next thing. So you say what business of it was Lois to like say anything, right? Of
Yeah,
Nina's. Because Lois and Sunny are friends. You telling me okay, so you're sitting there telling me if you was in that situation and somebody was doing something dirty to me, you wouldn't sit there and say anything?
dirty to
You
who?
wouldn't you wouldn't let's just say that situation happened, right? Me and somebody else. Are you sitting there saying that you wouldn't tell me the truth?
Well, if it was directly, but affected you directly for you personally, like if your physical health was at risk, then of course I would help automatically. But it's just my thing is with this situation with the SEC that was more with that more had to do with Carly than that did with Sonny. Because Carly, at the end of the day, she is guilty. She actually committed the crime. So Lois completely disregarded that and then went in on Nina. That's the main problem that I had with the way Lois did that. And then I just thought she was extra with it too. Like that really she made it like Nina's this big monster. I mean Nina, we all know I don't like Nina like that, but I just felt that Carly got a complete pass with that and Lois just being in there, the one that exposed it was so anticlimactic for that long drawn out storyline on top of that. But to tell you the truth, even before that, um, before Lois did that, like I was struggling to connect with her because I thought Lois was going to be like somewhat a little bit messy like Quinn. I had like so high expectations for the Lois character, but she just bored me before that. So that was just the end of the end. But of course, I would always have your back though. But I'm just saying, as far as for this TV show, with Lois doing that, that did not satisfy me with that plot ending with her getting involved for no reason, as far as I'm concerned, because she want to talk about Sonny's her good friend for all these years. Where was you when Michael was in a coma? Where was you when Sonny was paralyzed in a thing. You weren't even mentioned by a phone call. That oh yeah, Lois called and checked up on me. You ain't cared nothing about him for no 30+ years, but now you want to be all on Nina's neck. I'm like, I'm not buying it. And thank you so much, Jonathan. Jonathan says Geo could have been revealed to be an addict, and he secretly goes out at night for special items. That's interesting. And then Darby
That's
says, not a damn thing, Al, but I wouldn't tell you anything with a smile on my face. Hello,
that's my boy right there. It's my
Carter
boy
needs.
Darby right there.
And then Clarence says Carter needs Quinn, and Lois goes in on my Ava. Wait, Kyrie, I thought you loved Nina. Dang, I missed a lot. You damn, I turned against Nina when Nina turned against Ava. So, nope. Ava pulls rank. And hey, Ron, how are you? And what
Ronnie
did
Ron.
Omar said? I hope Rick helped Sonny. I remember Sonny saved Rick's life with that train crash story. He needed blood right away. Sonny was the only match. Plus, he became a dad because Alexis had Molly when that train crashed. Oh, okay. And Dewan says, all about. And then, hold up, Ron says, hey, gorgeous, sexy queen, Nikisha Moore. All right. Check you out, Ron. Acknowledging that. But now, moving on to Days of Our Lives. I had a few questions for you regarding Days. Let's talk about, are you sick? My first question is, are you sick of Ava acting like she's so afraid of Gabby?
I I just like I don't know what happened to this so-called tough mob princess, but like every time that Gabby walks into a room, she gets all nervous and uncomfortable. I'm like, but it's not really that serious. Like I feel like if this was more old school, she would have sat there and be like, "Yeah, I slept with your husband, and what are you gonna do about it?"
Exactly. Exactly.
Like seriously, this is it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Like, I've never seen Gabby throw hands like that. So, like, what is she seriously gonna do? She gonna put you in a coma? Like, it's just ridiculous. Ava, grow a set and get your life together. And then my
Not
next,
just I
huh?
mean, no, not just that, but just the simple fact that it's like I can see her holding on to the secret if her and Stefan was actually really good friends, but they ain't even good friends. So it's not like she's doing it to sit there and protect Stefan. You're not doing this to protect Stefan. Are you really that worried about yourself? You're supposed to be a so-called mob princess, like tough chick or whatever. You're like really worried about her. It just it doesn't add up. That's my issue.
Hey, Melanie, how are you? Um, and then my next question for you, Albert, was who could realistically play EJ's new love interest besides Connie, of course?
Oh, besides Connie, damn, I don't I don't think they really have anyone. Like
And
seriously, who I mean, we're not gonna do Ava. That would just be out the blue. And I don't see Gabby really doing anything with him. I think he's just gonna be alone for a while, unless I'm missing somebody. Who would you sit there and think?
well, I know it won't be Maggie.
Yeah. And it won't be Marlena, obviously. So, like, you think Jada?
But Jada's with Rafe, so and besides, even
Well,
if
but
she
you know,
does,
Rafe was just a placeholder, though.
that is true. She is, but um, yeah, I guess they have to cast someone new to play EJ's love interest eventually. Um, because I don't see anyone on canvas in his age range that he could play off of outside of Nicole. And then
Do you think they should recast Gabby at this point?
recap. Why
I mean,
recast?
not Gabby. Sammy.
Oh, Sammy. Why did the
Yeah.
other one say she never wants to come back?
I mean, do you think that she's going to come back? She doing those Lifetime movies or Hallmark movies or whatever. Um, she don't have to sit there remembering pages and pages of lines, and plus, all that stuff that went down on days behind the scenes.
Dolomedic says Ava being scared of Gabby is extremely out of character. Ava was once written as a threat that she nearly unalived half of the cast on a sabotage plane. Where was that big villain?
Ooh. I'm just reading what Nikisha said. You want to read that out loud since
Oh,
you're
about
the captain of
Salon?
this ship?
Was it about Salon? This one? Did y'all see
Yeah.
the actress that played Cologne? Salon accused her fiance of abuse in real life, then she retracted it. What? Oh, I didn't read. I didn't know nothing about that. I'm like, oh, well, because we thought she left the show to secure her bag, but apparently these billionaires just be having all these tempers and they're thinking their money's just gonna fix everything. I'm like, well, damn, because wow. I hope she's
Yeah.
okay.
Oof. And
Beautiful.
Jonathan gave you a super chat?
She's a beautiful woman. Yes, of course. Either a recasted Salone or Gwen. Ooh, yeah, Gwen is his age, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Gwen. Once she's no longer Teresa. Oof. That was. Do you think
Get the
that? And that led to my next and first one. Thank you very much, Jonathan. I appreciate you. You're the best. And then Melanie says that Albert and Kyrese and I was correct that Fiona can't be trusted. She does not want to make amends with Xander and wants to get to know Sarah. And Victoria just wants the money. It's true. She definitely does want that money. That is for sure. But, hey, bring back Sammy for EJ. So yeah, I guess a Sammy recast will have to do if the other one doesn't want to do that. But I know that would be
get the other chick that's played Sloan. Get the other chick that plays Sloan, the temporary Sloan. She was good.
wow. Okay. Yeah. I missed those episodes when it was the temporary salon. So I,
Okay.
I heard about the salon actress thing. I think she's hanging on because he's a billionaire. Well, but sometimes money ain't worth everything though. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, so hopefully she decides whether. I mean, at the end of the day, this is her life. Um, so she's a lot. She can make her own decisions, but I'm hoping that she chooses the best decision for her. I'm not going to judge her either way. How she chooses to live her life is how she chooses to live her life. If she decides that she would rather that the pros outweighs the cons, then I wish her the best of luck. But if she decides that enough is enough, that she knows her value, that she can stand on her own without him, then I support her either way. Um,
I'm just gonna sit there and say something, and we can move on. If it was just her, cool, whatever she decides, she decides. The thing is, she does have a child there.
oh, she does.
Um,
I didn't know that.
yeah, so that's a factor in it too.
Is that
Um,
child with him or with somebody else?
no, it's with somebody else.
Oh, then yeah, definitely. So,
Yeah, so that kind. What I'm saying? Like it's one of those things where it's like if she was by herself, whatever choice she makes, fine. But that choice is going to affect her child. So
all
it's a
right.
little
So
more
yeah.
dicier. Yeah.
Now the child, on the other hand, maybe. Oh, that's who we forgot about. Melinda. There we go.
Oh, damn, she looked good.
Forgot.
How the hell did I forget her? Jesus
I know.
Christ.
We both did. And she looking good like that. I'm like, how did we forget that? Dolomenic says, I'm a big Sammy fan, but if we got Allison Sweeney's blessing, I'd be down for Ooh, Gina, yep, the one that played that played the other Phyllis, or someone to give it a shot. Yep, I agree with Serena, because she was definitely a good Kyrie's made. No, we are not gonna have Teresa with Aaron Ron. Nobody is giving that pairing until the boy turns 18. EJ and Salone would be an interesting pairing. I'd be scared to be with anyone that rich. They could afford to end you and cover it up and get away with it. That much money and power is scary. Mm. I want Gwen to come back to Salem pregnant with a Demera baby. Mm. But do you think the Teresa character is redeemable?
I mean, yes, just not with that actress though.
Mm.
Not with that actress. It's like from day one it just didn't work. I remember you said something to me though. You said something to me. You was like if they ever made another Ava recast and I just wouldn't accept it. And I was like, well, you didn't even really sit there and give it a chance. You was like, well, you did the same thing with
With
Gwen and Teresa, right?
yes, Wig Risa. Correct.
Yeah, we agree. So touche, I guess. Touche. It
That is true. Yeah, you was not feeling that from the day one of that of that thing.
was
You was
so
not
bad.
no sort of chances. She didn't get a second
That's
chance. She didn't get no third chance. She didn't even get the first one.
all right. Touche, touche. Just want to sit there and bring that up.
But yeah, Ava
Um,
Jerome is Mora West. So if you can't get Mora West, then just Ava got to die or Ava got to go to jail. One or the other. Uh,
okay.
Mora West is Ava Jerome. If ands buts, I think Everett Clarence, and then I worked for the company that Salone's actress fiance owns. That family is scary rich. Ooh,
Oh, okay. Oh, Max is getting some insights. Okay.
all right. That family, she got money. But I pray for that child though. I pray for the child. Man, 1 second. Let's see. And then is Kristen a good choice as CEO right now?
I mean, yes, because she has killer instincts and she knows how to be just on point. And EJ just has way too much stuff going on right now. Remember, he was trying to be CEO and DA at the same time. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what are y'all doing?
Patty says Teresa is trying to get redeemed, but man, she's hard. She's hard selfish. She's been like that for a long time. And what about Tate? She's not even trying to care. Well, to be fair, she was on the way to New York, and that is where Tate was allegedly um, in New York. That's which because apparently I still can't believe that stupid plan worked.
So that even irks me even more. The fact that that stupid plan worked, but the only part, the only thing that's the problem is Sophia. Out of everything that can go wrong, that should have went wrong, it just happens to be creepy ass Sophia that was hanging out in the bushes, just waiting to sit there and tattletale and being proud of it. I can't.
Uh, so Sophia just secured her bag. All right, so she did what she had to do. Why should she be washing them dishes up in there, getting her nails dirty when Holly did Sophia wrong? She played her for a fool. All right. At the end of the day, they were supposed to be best friends. And what did Holly do? She stabbed her in the back. She said, "Oh no, because I thought you were just gonna go tell your mom, who would tell my mom. But you never swore her to secrecy or anything like that. So therefore, her and her mom might not be that much best friends right now because her mother tried to make her get some low down entry level job. And Sophia ain't trying to get her nails dirty. They could have at least tried to get her a job as a set receptionist or at a hair salon somewhere, sweeping up that. But no, she got to do them dishes. I'm like, they did my girl Sophia wrong. They just
Yeah. Um, sure. Now, Duane says, will you guys get B&B canceled? No, I think B&B writers are going to get that show canceled.
yeah, they're gonna do that themselves. And it looks like Eric and Nicole will end up going to Paris. Yeah, but I think Eric is probably gonna still come back to visit in between because I thought Eric was leaving in December.
Do you think that Eric is leaving? Because I heard no, I heard he's leaving. I, but he's left before. He's came back before. That's my whole thing. Is like if you're gonna leave, just leave.
Because we all know Albert is no fan of Eric's.
No, I am. I'm also not a fan of Nicole either. I think the problem is they hook up with other people and then they use them as consolation prizes, and then they decide they want to be with each other and they break the hearts of whoever they're with. That's my
Kristen
issues with
is
them.
Darby says Kristen is smart, confident, and gets ish done. I would want to make sure she's the only demurrer. I would want to sign my check. I know that's right.
Absolutely,
Kristen,
absolutely.
sign my check. That Deidre Hall as Marlena will be reprising her double role as Hattie Adams in the promo. That's what. Oh, that was real. I thought that was just Marlena in a wig. I didn't know she's actually playing a double role. I thought that was still Marlena doing that for that. But oh, okay, that's gonna be Teresa 2.0. I'm not trying to. But do you think that this soap opera thing that they're doing is gonna be a long term arc or just a temporary little small project?
No, temporary little small project. I find it funny. It's like a soap opera within a soap opera. So
It's
I'm
just,
here for it.
did you
Um,
see Hattie's coming back to days? Why? So pointless. Yeah,
who's
I
hating?
guess that's what Melanie was just telling us. That's who. Did you see that Days promo where Marlena had that
Oh
wig on?
yes, yes.
Yeah, apparently that's Hattie. I didn't even know that that was a different role. I thought that was still Marlena. Just I thought she was playing around or something, but that is just that's going to be a lot of fun to review. I feel like Sophia's blackmail is a good thing. It's the closest thing to punishment that Holly's received for her terrible behavior. No, that's true. I mean, Holly didn't really face no consequences except being in a coma. And then when she woke up, she still acted like, oh, even though Tate was in jail, Tate's the one whose life was upside down, but she got her phone taken away and the world is coming to an end. But
Yeah.
like she acted like she got beat halfway, like Nicole beat her halfway to death and starved the girl with no food, no nothing. If you were listening to Holly's cries about being left, just getting her phone taken away, that was the most horrific crime in the world. I'm like, so dramatic. Take it easy.
Oh, and I want to ask you since we're on your stream because I asked you this yesterday, but I want to sit there and make sure that we get that right. Who is more annoying, or who would you
Josh, you said
who?
Jocelyn or Holly, so now I know
Yeah,
exactly.
Jocelyn Holly. Yep.
I think that Jocelyn manages to get more under. Well, I'll give you this. With Jocelyn, she manages to get further under my skin directly. Like with Holly, I'm annoyed, but I'll just fast forward her anyways. Sometimes, but actually not when I'm reviewing it. Like when Holly was on her whining tangent right along with Tate. I'm like, oh my god! But Jocelyn really does manage to get my blood boiling underneath my skin. Like that girl really makes me want to choke. Like when Jocelyn really gets in insufferable screeching mode, that's just like Holly is just a spoiled brat that you're just like, will she shut up? But Jocelyn just tries to act like she's big, big Billy badass too. But but everybody treats her with kid gloves. That's what's annoying. At least Holly is just playing the teenage role, but she's still acting like a little girl. Like she doesn't get in people's face talking about, oh, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm this and that. Like I remember when Jocelyn was all up in Nina's face talking about, when and when she told Sonny that the only reason I didn't I'm not because you try to help Trin. That's the only reason I'm not going to slap the hell out of your girlfriend or something like that. Like all up in a whole grown ass woman's face, thinking that you're gonna get up in there, and then you're all up in mobster's business, talking about getting publicly putting the camera in his face, talking about I'm sending you and Dex to jail right now. Like no real mobster is gonna let that slide. Sonny should have easily snatched that phone and had her snatched somewhere. If he was really that big bad wolf that she kept crying about, she should have really been dealt with like an adult that day. He could have at the very least threatened her. But he didn't do anything. He just went to Carly talking about, oh, get your daughter under control. So I'm like, no, Jocelyn is still worse sometimes because she still gets treated with kid gloves compared to Holly. All she is just annoying and whining, but not to that same level.
Now, just going to B&B. I mean, going to Y&R.
Yes, that was
It's
next.
characters that you don't like. I want to hear what are the names of characters you don't like. Remind the
It's
folks.
funny. That was the next question. Nikki Newman is a very hateful woman. I feel that way 10 toes down. That Nikki Newman sucks. Like seriously, she stay you would figure that she would have had at least a little humility when she got her mean ass out of rehab. Like, see, this is why I was so upset when she came up in there two literally less than 2 weeks later, talking about Victor, Victor, I'm home. Where's Victor? And then you had the nerve to say, oh, look at her. She came back looking radiant. That's right. The word radiant is still canceled up in here. So don't dare try to type that in there. If you type that in there, that is a bad word of radiant. I could not believe that you would put such an innocent word prior to that hateful woman. Like, but even the condescending way she was talking about Adam, like, oh no, what about all the damage Adam could cause to my Newman Media? Like, lady, he started this company. You had to work with policies that he created to make it successful. So when he's the one that merged it, when he took that from Ashland Law, and you know he was doing a very great job with it. Even even Victoria and them had to admit that these last few months that Adam was doing great work with Nicholas right along that all those months. Even despite everything that was going on with Connor, that Adam was still doing good. So Nikki is was beyond ridiculous. But I did like it when when Victor revealed his plan to go after Chancellor thing and put Nikki in charge. When Nikki was like, I don't know what to say, Adam snarked at her and said, how about you say thank you? I was like, at least he said something to her finally. And then when Victoria tried to pipe in at him too, he's like, oh please, you're just mad that I would have a better shot at it than you would. And he was just finally snarking back at those two. But Nikki should have stayed back in rehab.
Okay.
But
So
what
y'all
about
like Nikki?
why did you go soft on Nikki Newman all of a sudden just because she got on the got off the bottle for 5 seconds, but she's still
I
mean.
mean, yeah, I mean, listen, I don't like Nikki. I understood the drinking problem. I get that. I don't like Nikki, but like, I don't. She just comes across as more bougie than anything else. Like, I don't hate her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have strong dislike for her. Like I had a strong dislike for Nina when she first came on the show. I had a strong dislike for Stella, and I had a strong dislike for the first Chanel. But Nikki doesn't get under my skin like that. She just comes across as a typical bougie woman, you know?
And then my next question is, what's next for Sally if she dumps Adam?
What's next for Sally? Well, how about see, I can't sit there and say Billy Boy because Billy Boy is with Lily.
Mm-hmm. He's just
So
waiting for that because he's just waiting for an excuse to go back to Lily anyways already. You could tell he's ready to get back with her.
better not get back with Nick. Nick should sit there and be like, nah, I'm good.
Well, who?
Nope.
Oh,
Nick.
oh, you mean Sally? I was about to say. I
Yeah, is that,
thought
yeah,
about Billy for a
yeah.
second. Wait, what?
Nah, no. I mean, hell, they don't sit there and even give Mariah and Tess on that show anything to do, which is
LOL. Ron said Albert has a soft spot for Nikki. Maybe she could teach him a few moves on the pole.
oh. And this is why Ronnie Ron is my jester in the chat.
Can you tell us how you feel? LOL. And then Nikki is a drunk Brooke Logan. They're both drunks technically, but at least Brooke actually went to rehab and got herself together after Sheila caused a relapse. Hey Spider Quick, how are you? Um, for all the talk Nikki said about loving her husband Victor, the first chance she gets, Nikki turns to her husband's worst enemy Jack for knowing that he will do to her marriage to the mustache. I think Victor is just very way too over the top jealous of Jack at this old age. I'm like, if you don't go somewhere like he's really trying to take Jack's business down, all because Jack was the one that helped your drunk wife go to rehab. Like this is, I mean, it's Victor, but even still, I'm like, seriously, grow up. What do you think about that?
I think they're using that as an excuse to sit there and start up the rivalry again.
Mm-hmm.
Because, any new people, which I don't think they actually care about the new people, but any new people, we don't know about the epic Jack versus Victor wars. So, like, for me, this is totally new and it's kind of interesting. But for other people who've been watching, it's like, this is kind of old. But that's what they're using it for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's definitely. I'm like, he
What
could
about
come.
Victoria? What about the elegant Victoria?
Lord have mercy. That Victoria, she's just incapable of change. She she gets on my nerves and will stay on my nerves. But at least um, it's Claire, on the other hand, that I really need to develop a background. Like
Yes.
Claire, she's. I mean, I get that she tried to murder her whole family, so they had to make it seem like she changed. But there's no way at this point you wouldn't have been gotten sick of Summer at this point. Because at the end of the day, Kyle was the one that hired her, not Summer. So therefore, Kyle's the one that can fire her as long as Harrison's in that is in that home. So I would just tell Summer to kiss my ass a long time ago. Um, and be like, you
Yeah.
know what? From here on, when I work for Harrison, I'm working with Kyle. I don't care how Summer feels. Y'all work out whenever you need to do that. You let me know when I need to get Harrison ready. But I'm not trying to interact with you. I'm not gonna kiss your ass to keep getting along with you. At the end of the day, you're my cousin, but I don't really give a f about you because you don't have no real final say so in this family either. So why don't you go take this, because if you come up with your energy like this with my mother and my grandfather, they're both gonna shut your ass right down. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm working with Harrison. Then there's not a damn thing you could do about it. But get over it. If she
Yeah.
really did say that, I can guarantee you Kyle would be on her side anyways. So there's what's the point? Like, what could Summer do about that? As far as you could try that nonsense with that courts nonsense, but at the end of the day, that would still be a long shot for her to be able to dictate whether who Kyle could hire during his time with Harrison. So
Yeah, it's ridiculous at this point. And the sad thing is like here's the thing. When you're getting bullied by Summer Newman, you know that your life has hit rock bottom. Just saying.
um,
Uh
Ron says
okay.
Kyrie's both Melinda Trask and Jada are both good looking. I want them both. I also want my cake and eat it. Okay, Ron. I see. Ron likes that cake. Well, Melinda looks good. So. But Jada has been looking very, very, very attractive lately. I mean, she's always looked good, but especially since she got out of that Karen mode, I'm like, she's just been glowing lately.
Jada's fire. Jada's fire. There's a couple of times that Jada would sit there and get a little out of pocket, especially in the beginning when Everett came into town
Mm,
and she saw him. I remember there was one episode she just walked in his hotel. I was like, yo, all right, bro, you're doing too much. But
way too much.
besides that, you didn't like Jada for a hot minute even before that. You
I
remember
didn't
that,
like it
right?
because of that whole the whole Dimitri thing. But once
Yep.
Dimitri left, I was over that. So, well, actually, no, I was still holding on to that same grudge. But then just one day, after I gave Wendy a chance, I was like, you know what? Then let me give Jada a chance too. If I can give Wendy a chance, who I also didn't like before, but now we all know I love Wendy. I think she's the star of the show. Um, but so I'm like, if I can give Wendy another chance, then I can definitely give Jada another chance. So, Jada hasn't truly let me down yet.
What
So,
about Stephanie? Do you like Stephanie?
oh yeah, I think she's attractive. So that's why I like her. I love how
Yeah,
Jada's
she's
Summer is not playing games with Kyle and getting her temporary custody of Harrison, and my intuition is that Claire can't be trusted because her true colors come up with betraying Summer. How is she betraying Summer? Summer's been nothing but this. And George says, "Oh Lord, here we go with Wendy." That's right. Wendy Shin is the star of Days of Our Lives, and I think that's what Connie, because that is where I think that story is going. Because think about it, Wendy never signed away her apartment, and Chad has money. And hey, Jonathan, do you think Connie will be arrested or killed? What I think first, thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you. But secondly, is about Connie. I feel Wendy is going to be the person to take her down. Now, I know when you hear that, you probably be thinking, "Oh, yeah, he's your Trump." But no, but let me tell you the real reason why I truly believe that that's going to tie into Wendy's return, because where Connie keeps being is in Wendy's apartment. And as far as I'm concerned, Wendy and Trip just said they were only staying away temporarily. And Trip moved in there. He's a doctor, so he had to have paid that rent at least a solid few months in advance for their to cover their vacation to still be able to go on their vacation in China. They didn't move there full time. They just they went on
Mm.
vacation. So Connie's just sitting over there making herself at home in Wendy's place where she killed her brother. I feel like Wendy's the person Connie least expects to get her. Connie probably suspects Jada and Rafe or Gabby to be the one to get her, but she's not going to see Wendy coming from a mile away. So I feel like that is going to be Connie's downfall, is Wendy Shin. So I believe that Connie will probably be arrested at the end of the story, honestly, just like Whitley was. Um, I don't see them killing her, but I mean, she could die, but I think she's gonna get that ass whipped by Wendy, and then she's gonna get locked up.
That's interesting. Um, I mean, that could happen. I mean,
That's give, and
that'd be something for
then yes, that would be an epic comeback for Wendy to just punch thing right in the face. And then Dewan says, "Give Teresa a chance." No chance in hell. Um, there's a there's a corn star named Jada. I know what you meant. Soon you will say Deanna is the star of GH on. I'm not trying to start tonight. I am
well,
not.
I mean, just to add into that, there is actually a star named Jada Fire.
Uh,
Just saying. Just
Actually,
saying.
I agree. I think Wendy will stop Connie. Yeah, Wendy will. That's the one thing I would give Teresa is a bus. The only thing I would give Teresa is a bus ticket out of town. Hmm. And then, wait, what did Darby say here? Let me read this earlier thing. I'm sorry, Kyrie. I regret the day I gave you some of that Wendy crack. I made you into. Yep, you and Melanie made me give Wendy another chance, and now I see her for the beautiful angel that she is. Cause it was just like I didn't get. I hope we get a Wendy Connie cat fight. I feel like Wendy can throw hands with Nessa. Oh yeah, Wendy was a tomboy back in her day, and it took. So she knows how to throw some punches now. Wendy gonna whoop that ass, and ain't gonna be nothing
Now,
Connie about it. Now, my
now,
question for you is, how
okay.
far will Sharon go? Do you think on the Young and the Restless?
I mean, I hope she goes. I hope they take it as far as they can take it. Like as far as like maybe her hurting Daniel or something to that effect. Because I don't understand how she could sit there and see him every day and it's not on site.
Hmm. Well, not everybody's Chloe Mitchell. Some people.
Gorgeous Queen Justice in the chat.
Hey, my flawless God's gift to men, Queen Jessica, the one and only love. This Jessica Love is God's gift to men. I say that on his stream. I say that on mine. I say that everywhere because it is the truth. When I go into church on Sunday, I mention Jessica Love, God's gift to men. Every time when they say bow your heads, that's what I'm saying in my prayers. It's Jessica, the one and only love, because she is all that and then some. But Ron says Albert and Kyrie's maybe Connie would speak Chinese to try to throw Wendy off guard. Wendy will slap the shit out of her, okay, for trying that racist BS. I wish she would try Wendy like that. Wendy will f her up. But onto the bald and the beautiful, is Steffi's hatred over the top? Because if you wouldn't know any better, you would think that Steffi is watching my videos, my streams on a daily basis with her Brooke hatred saying, I'm never going to give Brooke a chance. That's something that I would say. So I think if I didn't know any better, Steffi's been listening to me. She sounds like me when she's hating on these Logans lately. This sounded just like me that day when I said, all three of those Logan women are on my screen today. I have come into the streams to say that from time to time. I'm like, there was all four Logan women on my screen today. That is what Steffi's energy has been lately. So if I didn't know any better, she's been watching yours truly.
Hey, listen, I wouldn't and I agree with that, Darby, about that comment. I do, but still. Um no, I agree with that. And it's actually kind of funny though too, because we do these streams a lot. YouTube is a very popular platform. I can't imagine people not watching or seeing what they're thinking about their characters and stuff. So I'm gonna put it past them.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff he's supposed to dislike the Logan. So I mean, if there's anyone that's gonna dislike the Logans more as far as a reviewer, it's gonna be you.
Yeah, me and ranting with Ricardo. Well, she only
Oh
reviews
yeah.
the hospital, but she and I were neck and neck. We're saying the number one Brooke hater. She says she's the number one Brooke hater. I still think that title belongs to me, but she brought up. She has the she went up old school to dig up the old school facts of Brooke, all her receipts. So I'm like, wait
Hmm.
a minute. She did that deep. She had that deep dive into Brooke. I
Hopefully, if she has some time, she'll review what you call it, B&B. Let me ask you a question though. If you had time to sit there and review one more show, which one would it be out of the three, and why?
Probably General Hospital. Well, but then again, General Hospital really doesn't make it easy these days. So it would be the Young and the Restless actually, somewhat because General Hospital. I mean, I know numbers wise, General Hospital would probably be greater, but they've just been giving me a headache lately. This last month, even watching it as as a streamer, but to watch that as to actually have to review step by step of what happened in the episode when Geo is talking, I'm like, it's just been rough. But I do enjoy reviewing my Days of Our Lives, though. I, I, I've been grateful that it's been paying off, and my numbers for days have gone up a little bit this week. So I was like, awesome. With that four.
Days is a tough sell sometimes, but I feel like on my channel, Y&R is actually an even tougher sell.
Mm, that is true. Young and the Restless is not. Because even like with what's her face? What's her face with Allie on there? Like she's been doing that for some years now. She'll post her YNR chat.
Yes,
Like
Y&R Chat with Ali.
she's been on for years and doing that, but she's still her weekly thing averages to like what 200 views for per week for the
Yeah,
Young and Restless. So it's just like when I
it's
see
a it's a tough sell.
it is, but, but that's honestly if I did have enough time. But I will be reviewing. I will make time next year to review the Gate stuff. But the
Of
only
course.
difference is with the Gates. Like I want to review the first episode the day it airs, but I plan on making the Gates more of a weekly separate view. And on top of that, and then just regular live stream would still be at 10 p.m. So we would talk about that episode, but I would do a separate video, a 1 hour weekly video for the Gates. That's how I'm planning on setting that up to release on
That
every Saturday.
that's good. Yeah, that's kind of like what DC used to do. He used to just sit there and do like a whole week's worth of episodes in one day.
Yeah, but I'll still technically be talking about the Gates every day since I'm still going to be doing the live streams. But I'm just going to have a separate to be solely about the Gates on as a Saturday, maybe Saturday morning, maybe Saturday evening. It depends.
Let me know how that works out. I don't know. It's. I tried that once with Bold and the Beautiful to do it in one day, and it's so weird to me. Like I feel like it's easier to do it daily than to do it all in one week, which seems backwards, but it works for me.
It is true. It is probably easier to do that throughout the day, but actually, because I could take advantage of that since I'm still going to be doing the live stream, I could be writing down. I could start like writing down some of the comments of what people are saying and giving them shout outs of their comments about the gates in that hour video too throughout the week to keep that fresh and interesting too. I could shape the video that way and try to like edit it to make it seem like this. That gives me that good idea to run with that as well. Kyrie's, I want.
You should write that down before the stream is over.
I know to
'Cause that's a
remember
good
that.
idea. Yeah. What did
Uh,
Ron say?
and Ron says, "I want Detective Sanchez back. Baker is corrupt and needs his badge taken away from him. He's not professional." Well, Sheila was a person of interest, so technically he did do his job. He released her when he found that there was no evidence, so he's allowed to hold a suspect for 72 hours um, before charging them or releasing them. Or at least that's their soap opera law in some of them. When you said they're allowed to hold them for 72 hours. But if Janet says that's a good plan for the gates, yes, I'm gonna write that down right now to put that in the comment section because that would be a good idea throughout the entire week. Because we're especially with the new people that come in. Because think about it, when we debuted the gates, a whole lot of people are going to be buzzing about the gates. So that would definitely is going to be all over the YouTube search engine,
I like that.
regardless of wherever you do that. So if I do that could work. I love it when you guys brainstorm. It's so cool how you all support each other. Yes, indeed. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, it's not even so much like a rivalry or anything like that. It's just like we all give something different, and unique take to this industry that we talk about. You know,
it's true.
so it's not. It's for me, it's never I'm better than somebody else or somebody's better than me. It's just like we just have different ideas, and sometimes it's we sample from each other because it's this whole process is a learning thing. And Ron, I hope you sit there and take Kyrese's um take on Baker because I could have swore I said the same thing to you. So um maybe you'll listen to Kyrese.
Is
Just
is
want to throw
Hope
that out there.
remotely realistic as Brooke 2.0?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, because she's always played the good girl, so it's like it makes sense for her to sit there and tap into her wild side.
But my issue is when her ego really reached the sky though. Like she was walking around thinking that she's Audra Charles, thinking that she's Halle Berry, thinking that she's all that type of men don't say no. Most men don't say no to me. Oh, men don't say no to me. Most men will beg to be with me. I'm like,
Wow,
most
that's
men like most
delusion. That's delusion on another level. Like
most
maybe she
men
was
are
on the
like,
Mary Jane. Maybe she was on the Mary Jane when she said that. I mean, it is California.
I'm like, yeah. Mm-mm. I'm like, she do not speak for most men. I mean, who the hell qualified her to think that she could speak for most men? I could think of two men right now that will back up that she don't speak for all men. Albert, does she speak for all men? Hell no.
No, but no, because I actually have standards. So no.
Exactly. She's just, I don't know what she thought that was. Like, seriously, Brad Bell must have been drinking some goofy juice that day. I don't know what was in that writer's hand when they had her say something like that. I'm like, yeah. Courage, do you think Sheila should do an investigation on what happened on Tom Hollis and keep an eye on Lee? Well, of course she got to keep an eye on Lee. Lee would do anything to stick it to Sheila. Um, Hope can't work it like Brooke used to.
Of course, well, yeah, because she doesn't have the assets. I'll sit there and say so. No,
Exactly. Because I'm Brooke's number one hater, but even I acknowledge that that chick does look good. So I'm just saying.
yeah, she had it going on back in the day. I don't know about her sitting there being front and center as far as the whole modeling thing. I mean, I may like her, but I don't think that's a wide consent to sit there and actually, do something like that.
And then is Katie Logan annoying and potentially right at the same time?
Yes, and that's the sad thing is that she is right at the same time for the audience. But I'm also just like, bro, why the hell are you sitting there walking up in this man's house like you still run ish, like you are the lady of the manor? Because you're not.
Exactly. I
And
mean,
Bill, and it's not, and Bill just lets it just happen too. That's the thing that just annoys me. It's like you got this new woman in your life that's living in your place, and you have your ex just walking in and out just because she can, and you not just gonna sit there and put your foot down and be like, oh, you can't be doing this. What's the matter with you?
I love how Double C says, sometimes I think Vince McMahon is writing for Bald and the Beautiful. Oh, Lord. Oh, mercy. And then are you looking forward to Will's debut, knowing that he's Nick's real life son?
Are you?
No, not really. Oh, he don't have that nepotism. Well, nepotism damn sure won't work for me. He won't want me to treat him with nepotism because if that was the case, then I if I started to hate him like I hate Nick Newman. But that's the difference. Though. I hate Nick Newman the character. I don't hate Josh Morrow the actor. If I saw Josh Morrow on something else, then I may or may not get behind him depending on how that character is written. So I'm not particularly excited for Will's character, but I'm not particularly, I have nothing against the actor. I'm looking forward to seeing what he could do, I guess, but I'm not necessarily excited
Yeah,
about it.
I wouldn't sit there and say I'm excited either. I mean, you know me, I'm a Nick Newman fan. That's just how it is. But I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know anything about this kid. So it's like I'd rather just wait and see how he is before I decide if I'm gonna like him or not.
It's true. Albert does love him some Nick Newman.
Absolutely,
Mm, mm, mm.
Team Nick Newman. That's just how it
Hey,
is.
someone's gotta stand up for the devil some better. Hey,
Yeah.
gotta do what you
I
gotta
mean,
do.
listen, I like both Nick and I like Adam.
Mm.
I could be a Yankees and a Mets fan at the same time. That's just how it is.
It's true because technically I'm upset with Adam still right now, anyways. But do you think Adam and Chelsea should just confess? Because Billy and Sally don't want to stop until they get the truth, anyways. Like even in the promos, like Chelsea's like, "What do you want us to confess? What do you want us to do? We already told you. We gave you whatever explanation. You're still not buying it. So what do you want to hear? If you suspect that we did something, just say it." But that's the thing is they don't even suspect that they slept together. They just really want to worry about, oh, well, what happened with Connor? What happened with Connor? If this was really about Connor, then that would technically be neither one of your businesses. So why won't y'all just flat out say, did y'all have sex? Then that would be different if they suspected that they slept together. But as far as I saw, they didn't really suspect that they slept together or nothing like that yet. So I would hear um, Chelsea's frustration. Like, what do you want us to confess?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, in all reality, I know this is a soap opera, so it's like that stuff comes out anyway. But if this was like real life, I'm like, if it happened once and it's not going to happen again, and I don't like lying, but if that's the route you're going to go, just shut your mouth and keep moving. Because it's not going to happen again, right? It's the same thing with Drew and Willow. If it was just one kiss, then just move on, right?
Mm-mm. You know how many people probably cheated on their partner and their partners don't know to this day, probably cheated 10 something years ago, and the partner still don't know nothing about it.
Hey, listen, if they live a happy life and it was just a one time thing, then it was a one time thing.
Exactly. So unless a Chelsea's popping up pregnant, then they just need to shut up about it. At that point, we never
Well,
going to see Kristen anymore.
Chelsea needs to be the one to chill out, if we're going to be honest.
That is true because Adam would be like, Adam had no problem taking the secret to his grave, really, because I mean,
Yeah.
that man is a history of life. You know how many lies and crimes he's committed in his lifetime. This is light work compared to what he's used to. So he could definitely keep a secret.
Now going into to YNR also, Lily. Okay, so Lily's with Billy, and they're at Chancellor, but now Victor's gonna sit there and take over. And I had this feeling it's like Lily's not gonna be okay with that. Lily didn't sign on to sit there and work for Victor or Nikki Newman or anything like that. So is she gonna sit there and go back to Devon?
It's true, but don't forget because Lily is right about what she said about Devon. Is at the end of the day, Devon doesn't really like to work directly with someone on the same level. He wants it his way or the highway. That's just how
Yes, that's true.
he wants to say, "Oh no, I would have valued." No, you wouldn't have, because if she would have said anything that disagreed directly with you, you would have gotten all up in your feelings and be ready to put her in her place. So he might as
But
well just say,
yeah,
"Yeah,
but I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying it's like okay, and that's actually very true. But like, okay, Lily, so you gonna work with Nikki now? No, well then you better sit there and walk back to Devon and start eating some crow and be like, hey, listen, I know that it was kind of like whatever, but maybe we could work something out now.
And then Clarence asked me, "Are we ever gonna see Reed on the Young and the Restless or Noah again?" Reed is Victoria's son, and
With who?
with JT,
Okay.
the one that abused her in the past.
Oh, you mean the one that got those hands put on by Victor Newman?
Yep, yo, that scene was hilarious. I still watch that scene every now and then. Yeah, Victor was handling business. He said, "You're a loser. You're a loser." I'll make sure you lose custody of your children.
Yo, listen, Victor is that iconic character. I don't care what anyone says or what he does to an extent, but he is that iconic character though.
It is true, but that scene will forever be.
Hmm.
It's the only way Vic, because the only way JT was able to get him was with that one punch in the thing, and then when he was able to throw him down the stairs. Because if Victor never lost that balance,
I
Victor was.
actually almost felt bad for JT. I was like, oh, god damn, you weren't ready for those hands. See, you underestimating some senior citizens. Don't do that now.
Saying. That's why when he was like, "Oh no, Jordan ain't whatever," she got overpowered by Victor. I'm like, I had to show you that. I said, "No, Victor got some hands now. He still got that strength. Even even when, and that's crazy because that allegedly took out only half of his strength when Jordan managed to poison him or whatever. That was still only half of his strength. All of his strength. That man. I may not like him, but Victor Newman, he ain't no joke. Just like she sent Lily to jail. Let's not forget that. Yep, Lily was in jail because she was responsible for the death of Devon's wife and Devon's unborn baby.
Yeah, I remember seeing a scene like that a little bit. When you had I forgot the dad's name for some odd reason. It just kind of who's Devon and Lily's dad?
Neil.
Yeah. And Lily was like, well, it was an accident. We're family and stuff like that. And Devon was like, no, you don't have a place in this company anymore. But see, that's the thing, though. A lot of people don't like Devon, right? And there was a scene where Abby wanted both Lily and Billy to join them, and Devon was like, no, I don't like these people. I don't like you. Like, why should I sit there and try to fake the funk? And people were calling him an a-hole and stuff like that. But I'm like, if you don't like somebody, why are you gonna sit there and want to spend time with them just because your girlfriend invites them? Like, why should you have to sit there and play pretend? So I don't understand why people don't like Devon so much.
Well, Devon does have a-hole tendencies, but I do like that he stayed with that same energy, not faking the funk with Billy. That is true. So I don't hold that against Devon, but Devon does have a-hole tendencies, though, in general. But it's just But with that situation, I do agree with you because F that. Why should he be breaking bread with Billy? Billy gets on his nerves. So why should Devon have to ruin his afternoon and his rare free time to be with someone I can't stand? I'm like, he didn't do anything like that. Now, on to one of the final few questions. I had two more questions left for you. Well, actually,
Huh?
three short questions. Do you think Abigail, when she comes back, she's going to be an altar again?
Well, I don't know. Well, you mean like what you mean like DID or something like that?
Yeah,
I hope not. I think that she's going to probably have a lot of gaps in her memories, and she probably won't remember who Chad is. I
Chad.
think that's the route they're gonna sit there and go. And then of course, because they're gonna have to fall in love with him again, so I think that's the route they're gonna sit there and go.
And then
What about?
do you think Mark and Leo are still on a road to romance? Because I know for a fact that Mark did not have no girlfriend. That was clearly a lie. When he said, "Oh, yeah, that was my girlfriend on the phone," I'm like, he was clearly lying to Leo.
Yeah, it's. I don't think they brought him in for no reason, to sit there and just. So yeah, I think they did bring him in there for Leo, and maybe they're gonna do like he's coming out the closet or whatever. So I think they're gonna probably do it that way.
And Darby says, Albert, isn't it hypocritical of Victor to say he loves Catherine and wants to save her company by giving it to Nikki? Jack's dad was his friend, and he wants to destroy Jabal. Hypocrite. Ooh, yeah. That was that was some but that was old Young and the Restless history. I think that was before either one of
Yeah.
before I started watching either, so I don't even
When did you start what? When did you start watching Young and Restless? What got you into watching Young and Restless?
well, I always like it would just be on the TV when my mom and I only had one TV, so it would just be on. I would just be, but I would like sometimes pay attention, other times not pay attention, on and off from the early 2010s. But when I actually started watching it for myself was when this Martin Grossman came in as Adam back in 2019 or 2018 stuff. 2019 was when I was actually starting to watch it full time. But I did get exposure to the show right there. Like, because I remember, like, the whole Delia thing, I remember when she died, because I watched that episode right when, as it happened. Uh, the original one when Delia had died and stuff like that. But I didn't know about um, him being Catherine Chancellor in those days like that. I still didn't know that.
Ron has a question for you, Kyrie's.
Kyrie's, how about Sophia and Alex parent? That scumbag Alex with my Sophia? Hold up. I thought for a second I thought he just meant Aaron. And then wait a minute, he's talking about Alex? That
And
scumbag that just lost his fortune is gonna be a pedophile and come after my Sophia? I don't think so. Not my Sophia. Never. If he goes anywhere near her, I will shove him down so many types of buildings and crap. You thought what Victor did to JT was something. You wait until I get a hold of Alex. He better not. He don't even need to be looking Sophia's direction. He don't even need to be breathing the same air as Sophia. Cause speaking of Alex, you don't feel bad for him, do you? Please.
no, no, no.
Oh, I'm like, no, he deserves nobody's sympathy with the way he's been acting with Justin. And then I liked
But
it
he
when
did apologize, though. He did apologize.
I do give him that. He did finally apologize. I remember that was the first thing you and I said. He said, "Yep, still no apology yet," but nope, he did. So, um, and then this was Omar's response about Devon. Ever since he got his money, he thinks he's the shit. Yeah, because that's probably like when Devon first came around. He's probably an under. He he didn't get that money until after Thing died. So, when they found that out. So he started watching when he saw Tracy and fell in love. Oh, you talk about Tracy Abbott. That's my Tracy Abbott. I didn't start loving her until she got that haircut. Okay, because before she got that haircut, it was just like how Albert was so dismissive about. Oh yeah, what about Trey? Well, I'm usually looking at my phone when she's on or fast forwarding her. So that was basically. I used to be have your dismissive attitude towards Tracy Abbott, but that
It
changed
was the hair that did it. It was the hair.
when that hair, and she lost some weight too. So that did bring some attention to that, and that is that.
Hey,
Um,
listen, that's your thing. That's I ain't gonna knock it. Everyone has a type, so
well, hold on. But I'm still not. I'm not actually attracted to Tracy Abbott. I've implied that before, but let me just clarify. No, I'm not actually attracted to Tracy Abbott for me. No, but I do think that Tracy Abbott has a lot to offer men her age, like Alan. I saw the chemistry between her and Alan. I wouldn't mind seeing Tracy and Alan have a love scene. I'm serious about that. But as far as me actually being attracted to Tracy Abbott, no. Ha! Okay. All jokes put aside, no, I'm not attracted to Tracy Abbott. I think you already knew that anyways. But
yeah, of course.
I'm
But
just,
or he could be Martin though.
huh?
Could be Martin. He could be Martin. That may not be Alan. It could be Martin.
Look, Martin is dead. Tracy just bring because you see, my thing is if that's Martin, that means Martin wouldn't have no real feelings for her. He's just playing her all this time, and that's saying Tracy Abbott still is not desirable. So that is what my issue with admitting it would be Martin. Like, Tracy Abbott herself was able to bring that energy in Alan that he didn't even know that he had until Tracy brought it out of him. So that's why I feel Tracy and Alan was the real deal. And then my final question was, do you think Lucky's return will benefit Elizabeth or Aiden more?
Probably Aiden more because he's dealing with the whole bullying thing. They started that, and I think it probably has something to do with the fact that he's gay. So they started that. So I feel like it really would benefit um, Aiden. Not so much Liz. I mean, maybe if they get them together, that's fine. But I feel like it would really benefit Aiden.
And Omar says that's why they got rid of Kane because they were trying to put Tracy with him and he had an issue with it. Well, he's an unprofessional POS of a man. I'm like, it's a job. At the end of the day, you could have just negotiated lightly, be like, let me add a little bit of realism to this scene. How about you get me them the little mask thing to cover my eyes real quick? So we so
Mm.
me so me and Beth could just get this scene over with real quick. How about you just put some goggles, some blinds on that? Because that's realistic. That's how people like to do sometimes. So that's all he had to do was just do that. But instead, he gonna reject her outright. Talk about, oh no, I'm not comfortable with that. Like,
I feel like that's worse than what you just said. Kind of. I feel like that's a lot worse. That scenario is a lot worse and more disrespectful than him just saying, "Hell no, I ain't doing it." But okay, I like that idea better. Let's put a bag over her face. You
no,
just practically
no,
said,
no,
"Let's put a
no, not
bag
put a
over this
bag
woman's
over her
face."
face. No, don't put the bag over her face. No, you didn't hear me greatly. I said put some goggles on to block his eyes. That happens sometimes. Like put a blindfold over his eyes. You just act like they were just being kinky. That's all.
I'm pretty sure. I'm looking at the chat right now. I don't think the chat actually agreed to what you just said. You just practically told them to put a bag over this woman's face. Jesus Christ. Okay.
No, not over her. No, over. No, put the blindfolds on. Both
Oh,
of them.
blindfolds. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Put
what I meant.
blindfolds on. That's a
Blindfolds.
lot better.
Yeah, no, not a bag.
Yeah.
Blindfolds. I
Yeah,
told you,
of course.
Tracy.
Because I want to sit. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I want to sit there and think of another woman while I have to sit there and do this god awful scene. So that's a lot better.
yeah, that's better. Come on, Albert. That
Hey,
is,
chat. Y'all think that's better?
yeah. Just
Y'all
put
in
some
chat. Y'all think
blindfolds
that's
on.
better?
I don't
That's why I'm looking at
understand.
the chat right now. Yeah. No, you understand. You understand. He's just playing.
No, y'all just because Tracy Abbott is still a design is still a decent looking woman, and y'all know that. So y'all just doing my girl wrong like this. I
This
just
man just said putting a bag over this woman's head, but the chat is doing okay. All right, bro.
I never said a bag. I said blindfolds. That's what I meant. Blindfolds.
Bro,
Over.
that's still bad. That's
Over.
let's just let's just move on. Let's move on because I can see the thing is you can see the smile on his face right there, so you know.
So, so Connie Nation is your Connie, and Katie Baby no longer exists. Well,
Yeah, apparently it's expired according to Ron.
but let me ask you this: so, if Days of Our Lives wanted you to play a character on there, they wanted you to play a love scene with Connie, would you do it?
If they put a bag over her face.
No, not a bag of no, but no bag, no nothing. But they will pay you $10,000 cash.
You know what? Yes. But I have a very good imagination, so absolutely.
Omar said I actually said mask. Well, I meant blindfold. A
Would
blind.
you, Kyrie's? Would you? How much
Hell
money would you?
yeah! I don't have no problem with it for $10,000 in cash. Me and I'll be like, where you want me to put her? Over here, over here, over here. All right,
$200.
$200. Oh hell no! I need $10,000 or up for that. That's a big assignment. Okay, I got to make some things work.
My dude just said that's a big assignment. I'm done. All right, I'm done. My dude just said that's a big assignment. I'm done.
Yeah,
Y'all
because
heard?
because do you know how many takes we're probably gonna have to do too? I'm like, yo, but I gotta get this right because this is a daytime drama, and with daytime they gotta film real quick. They film 6 months in advance. So I gotta make sure I perfect this. I need my strong motivation. I'm gonna make a love scene with Connie now, with all that extra room that I gotta get through.
We both look so bad right now.
I need $10,000, and I want it in cash too. I don't even want it in a check. I want that shit in cash, right?
150.
150 what?
150 for the whole thing.
Hell no! I told you $10,000 or more. That's the minimum. $10,000 to be with that Connie woman.
150 and three new Dell laptops.
Nope. ten
That's the
thousand
deal.
dollars in cash. If
God
I don't
damn,
get ten
Kyrie's.
thousand dollars in cash, then forget it. I ain't doing it. Um, I will just wave at her from a distance and continue to review it. That's no. I mean,
Hey,
but is she?
what?
But what I would do, I would be willing. Like after her love scenes, I would let her come on this stream here. I would have no problem with that and talking to her from a distance, as long as all of her clothes are on at that point. Um,
Okay.
I would give her
Wow.
publicity of here. That's what I can do. I can arrange that. That's no problem. But
You're a gentleman, Kyrie's. You are a gentleman.
I sure am. But any final thoughts before we wrap up?
This is actually a lot of fun. I appreciate having you on here. I think that we both look bad towards the end of the night, but it's all fun and games.
It is all. We all good up in here. Ain't nobody gonna say that. Well, unless if the actresses would have came in at the end of this video, then well,
Well, to be honest, most people know I'm an a-hole, so it's your reputation. My reputation is already soiled, so you just beginning.
well, they can try that if they want to. But yes, thank you everybody for joining. Have a good night, Clarence. Have a good night, Ron, Omar, Double C. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for the super chats. And have a good night, Jonathan, Darby, and everybody else. This was lots and
Queen
lots.
Jess.
Oh, of course, my flawless God's gift to men, Queen Jessica Love. And have a good night,
And Queen
Queen.
Acacia.
And Queen and the Beyonce of the group, known as Queen Nakisha Moore, and everybody else. This is lots and lots and lots of fun. I will see you all tomorrow. And Albert, I'll see you at 8 p.m. in your stream.